Welcome back to the Panthers.com video mailbag presented by CEENTA. Staff writer Max Henson here answering your questions in Bank of America Stadium, which as you can see is getting ready for the ACC Championship game between Pitt and Clemson. Panthers, of course, getting ready for their road trip against Tampa Bay. First question, should we expect Eric Washington to run as many blitzes as we did against the Seahawks? They seem to work really well. Yeah, I think so. I think the blitzing has been something that Eric Washington has found is kind of helping this defense generate some pressure on the quarterback. He saw 2 sacks on Russell Wilson. One came from James Bradbury, the corner. The other came from linebacker Shaq Thompson. Those were big plays in that game. Impactful sacks. And when you get an opportunity to take a hit on the quarterback like that, you're potentially getting the ball out. And that's something the Panthers have been trying to do lately. So I think that blitzing is working well for Carolina right now. I think we should expect to continue to see that going into this game against the Buccaneers. Next question, is Luke having an off year or is he just not as valuable because of how the NFL is changing? Well, here's the first thing I'll say, is Luke Kuechly will be the first to tell you that he can do more and he can play better. That's just kind of always the way it is with Luke. I'll also say this, every coach in the NFL right now would tell you if they turn on the tape that Luke Kuechly is still the premier middle linebacker in the league. So yes, the bar for Luke is very, very high and everybody wants to see him making big game-changing plays. He hasn't had many of those this year, but still playing at such a high level. As far as the next part of your question about the NFL changing, I see what you're saying about this becoming a more offensive league, maybe teams not feeling the need to establish the run like they did in years past. But if there's anything about this league becoming an offensive league, one thing we know for sure is you're going to need really good defensive players to stop those offenses if you want to have any chance at success. And we know Luke Kuechly is one of the best. Next question, why is our defense less formidable than in the past few years when we have the talent in place? Look, you're right, there is a lot of talent on this defense. I think what it comes down to right now for why they're not having the success we've seen from this unit in the past is the pass rush and takeaways. We haven't seen them affect the quarterback like we know they're capable of. We know Eric Washington's motto is get to the spot, we rush, and they're just not able to consistently affect the quarterback the way they know they need to. Everything starts up front for this defense. It always has. It sets the table for their success on defense, and it helps you get takeaways. I mentioned the strip sacks, interceptions. How do you force interceptions? You got to kind of hurry up the clock with the quarterback, make him take a few more chances than he wants to, maybe make some risky throws. That leads to some opportunities for interceptions. So that all combined right now is what's hurting Carolina defensively. We'll see if they can get it turned around this week against Jameis Winston, who does have a tendency to turn the ball over. And our last question, how many Panthers do you expect to make the Pro Bowl? Well, the record of this team is going to influence this quite a bit, I think. But that aside, if you're just looking at one guy who I think more than any other deserves a chance to go to the Pro Bowl this year, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, this dude is having an incredible season, coming off a 237-yard performance against Seattle, over 100 yards rushing, over 100 yards receiving in the same game. That had never been done before. I mean, he's emerging as a superstar in this league right in front of our own eyes. So yeah, I know the competition is stiff at that running back spot, particularly in the NFC. Guys like Barkley and Zeke and Todd Gurley and, man, Alvin Kamara, the list goes on. But I think Christian McCaffrey is putting him in position to get to that Pro Bowl.